Hello, hello, bonjour. We are going to be going live. We are live for our Chic 365 Q&A, celebration, shares, all the things. I'm just going to take a moment to make sure we're good with lighting. A little bit of a different vibe versus 8 a.m. in the morning. Tank tops now on, sweaters off. Olivia's walking around the boat like she owns the place.
Are you connected?
You have to see this. Wi-Fi? Oh, am I connected to Wi-Fi? I don't know. Look at Olivia. Dave's trying to get her to come inside and go downstairs. And she's not interested. She is not interested. Olivia, you want to come inside? Okay, beauties. Am I connected to Wi-Fi? Should I check?
I mean, is there a way to like touch your phone? I just want to make sure.
I would have to log out. I mean, I'd have to.
Oh, no. I mean, how do you know?
I mean, it's been automatically connecting.
Okay.
Let me know.
He's there. Our guy.
Let me know if you can see me and hear me clearly. Allison, hello. Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the live Q&A, sharing, celebration, deepening for Chic 365. I did say this in the email, but I want to say this again. No matter what day you're on, even if you haven't even started Chic 365, if you haven't even done one day of ACIM, I want you to know that you're welcome here. You're always welcome on any of our lives. Today, I saw some questions. They're kind of a little scattered in different places. So if I missed a question that you asked, there will be time. I imagine there will be time for us to ask. There goes Olivia. For us to ask some more questions. So, Michelle, welcome. Who else is here? Let me know. Say hello. Want to see. You can see me, right? I'm in the right spot. Am I in the right group? This is the big question. Where am I? Oh, good. I'm in the right group. Elisa, you're here. Bonjour. I've missed seeing you live. Christy, guten Tag. Hello, hello. Who else is here? I think I saw Daphne. Bonjour, bonjour. Who else did I see? I saw Allison a second ago. Christy, I saw you. Joe's here. All right, beauties. So I want to set an intention, let you know what today is going to be about, and I really want to have some fun. Inside of Chic 365 and ACIM, you know, we have our daily lesson and what the course is inviting us to consider and move through that day. And I do personalize it a bit because it is Elegant Femme's Guide to Chic 365. Today, I wanted to personalize this even more. So, a couple of things. If you're brand new to Elegant Femme, let me know. I can't believe you'd be in the Women Living Fully Facebook group if you were brand new, but it is possible that maybe you saw something, you've never really joined like a live opportunity. So if that's you and you're newer, let me know, because I will be talking about some deeper things inside of Elegant Femme today. And I want to start by celebrating that we're all actually doing this, that we're all actually allowing this again. Even if you haven't done one day of Chic 365, there's something that has called you into the conversation of miracles. So let us start with intention, and then I'll share with you what today is going to be about, and we're going to have some fun, and I have a surprise. All right, beauties. Father, Mother, God, Lord of all creation, as always, thank you for everything, all the joys, all the challenges, all the ebbs, all of the flows, all of the opportunity to choose again and again to remember who we are. We ask that today's Q&A is lively, it's joy-filled, that it's filled with laughter and beauty and grace and ease and all things good. This or something even better for the highest good of all concerned. Amen. 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 Pam, hello. Who's ready for some Chic 365 celebration? Who's ready? Who's here? Who's ready? Let me say hello to you. Oh, more questions are coming through. Okay, so here's what I want to do. So I want to start. I'm going to scroll down, and I think the first question that I saw, we tried to organize this. We tried to put the Q&A thread where people could leave questions. I saw questions kind of everywhere. It's perfect. I will do my best to find them all. I think Michelle's question was the first question I saw. So I'm going to go back to that, and then I'm going to make my way up. And then by the time I get to our chat, I will be answering anything else that came forward. So for example, Daphne, I will get to your question. Okay, we'll move through them today. I'll go there after I answer the other ones. Jennifer, welcome. I spent yesterday on an island in the sun, but today you are bringing on my warmth. Oh, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. So beautiful. I'm so glad you're all here. All right. So Daphne, I see your question. I will get to it. Let me scroll down, and we're going to start with Michelle's question. Let me see. Let me find it. That's the first one that I saw. Where did it go? Here it is. Okay, this is the first one that I saw. So we're going to honor that together. So I'm going to go through the questions, and I want to have fun today, and my intention is that with Spirit's assistance, I bring a lightness and an expansiveness that it's always available. It's always available. Always, always. Those of us who have in the past picked up the course, put it down, picked up the course, put it down. Some of the reasons that I've heard and that I've experienced myself in putting the course down is a feeling that it's heavy. Not only, right? Not only heavy physically, but heavy mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So my intention from the very beginning in moving through 365 ACIM over the course of a year, which I think is going to be 2 years by the time we're actually done together, was to bring this lightness, was to bring this beauty, was to really embody and embrace the feminine as we move through Chic 365. And I've received comments from so many of you that that's actually occurring, that you are feeling the lightness, that you are feeling a beauty, that you're able to relate to the text, the lessons in a way that feels good, that feels spacious, that feels expansive, that feels feminine. So I want to celebrate that for all of us, every single one of us. And I'm so, so grateful for this. I cannot tell you how much I look forward to this every day. Honestly, it's the best thing. It's the best thing. Every morning to wake up and know that I'm going to meet with you and I'm going to see you and we're going to get to love on each other through this beautiful course is amazing. So I do first and foremost want to thank you, and I want to celebrate us. I really want to feel that, because I remember when I was sitting on the deck in OBX where I would vision that I was on the boat. I'm on the boat. I would vision all the time, every day, twice a day, 3 times a day, that I was on the boat when I was on the deck. And I remember having the idea come up of, I was journaling and I kept writing, I was drawing a logo and I was thinking about this, and it started to bubble up inside, and I was like, I can't do this. What, am I going to go live every day for a year? Who does that? What? No. I was very resistant. Like, no, who does that? And I was also had a little bit of that imposter syndrome of, like, I'm not perfect. I don't follow the course perfectly. Like, who am I? Like, how we all, who am I to teach? The course says, and this is a truth that is a truth, that is a truth. We are all teachers. We are all students. All of us. And all of us are teaching every single day. We get to choose, what are we teaching? What are we teaching? We are teaching whatever it is we believe that we are. And whatever it is we want to know that we are. And I certainly want to know myself as a loving, expansive, devoted soul that is here to be fully cracked open in the remembering that I am the light. That's what I want. So when I started to look at it through that lens, I thought, let's do it. And besides, I'm not doing it. I'm showing up. I am doing it. We are doing it. But you know what I mean. So I'm very, very grateful that we all said yes. And one of my big intentions in the very beginning was that I didn't want this. I'm going to start with what I didn't want. I didn't want it to feel like dogma, dogma's good. I didn't want it to feel like dogma. I didn't want it to feel contracted. I didn't want it to feel like there was only one way and that this was the right way and all of a sudden everything was becoming about this. I love the part in the Course where it says that there's infinite ways to God, infinite, and the Course is one way. It's not the only way, and it's not the correct, most aligned way for everyone. And I want to really invoke and remember that spaciousness as we move through this, because now that we are, if you're following along with us daily, we are through the first 50 lessons. We just covered the first review of the first 50 lessons, and some of the text from here on can get a bit, what's the word I want to say? Sometimes some of the lessons can feel a bit like, for me, an old historic context, where it can jar, and we talked about this during the daily lessons as well, jar or trigger some like feelings of, is this from a religion? Is this something I have to do? Is this like a burden? So I want to remind you that you get to feel good when you move through the Course, that you get to take and receive what it is that really resonates with you and let everything else go. You know? It's really important that we continue to check in with our own internal teacher as we move through the Course, as we move through anything in life. What part of this feels true to me inside? What part of this is invoking and activating my remembering? And if something, a sentence you read, a word you read doesn't, it's okay to just say, okay, I'm going to let that be. I'm not going to try to understand it intellectually. I'm going to feel the truth of what I desire to feel and allow it to move through me. So I want to say that. All right. Michelle, your question. Tara, here's the question for Wednesday Q&A. Can you please talk more about holiness? I'd like to have a deeper understanding of what my holiness means and how to integrate that into my life. Thank you for all you do. You're so welcome, so welcome, so welcome. I love that this came through because it was actually, I think last week or the week before that, Katrina actually said holiness. She asked about holiness as well. And what I suggested to her is what I'm going to bring forward today, and we'll deepen it a little bit. I want to invite all of you, Michelle, all of you, to expand above and beyond any kind of set definition that feels like, am I doing it right or am I not doing it right? I don't feel that that's where your question is coming from, but I want to share that as a foundation. Any word, any sentence, anything. Okay, let me just feel inside, letting go of any kind of illusion, letting go of any kind of contraction that I have to get this right, that I have to understand it intellectually to get it right. And the most beautiful way to do that, to honor that, to allow that in my experience is to actually feel the vibration of it. So when you feel the vibration of holiness, what does it invoke for you? Now, if you came from any kind of religious background, the word holiness might initially feel like, oh, there's a holy man, the priest is a holy man, everyone else is sinners, right? I'm going to paint an extreme, right? This person's holy, this person's not, this person's closer to God, this person's not. That is not what the Course is sharing, and that is not what deeply resonates with me around a vibration and a frequency of holiness. Holiness, to me, because I don't believe there's one black and white definition, first, feeling the frequency of holiness inside, that is the first place I would go. What does holiness feel like to me? You don't need to know what it means intellectually in order to feel the vibration of the word, the essence of it. If I knew myself as holy, what is the vibration? What is the feeling that comes up? So starting there. And for me, when I feel into the vibration of it and then allow myself to move into the definition, to me, it means my awareness with God. To know I am one with God. Holiness and wholeness, holiness and oneness, holiness and divinity, to me, all come into union. So let me know, Michelle, if that supports you. And I'm going to move up so I have some time to read your comments in a minute. Let me know if that serves you, if that supports you, what that might move inside for you, and then we can deepen it. But that would be how I would begin that conversation. Okay. Let's see. Moving up to see if I missed any there. I think there was one more that was in a different spot. Here it is. Let's see. There might have been one more. All right. Stephanie says, Tara, I learned about ACIM through Gabby Bernstein, who made me curious about it. When you announced Chic 365, there was no doubt in my mind about joining and participating. I had no idea what I was getting into. I hear you. I totally hear you. Totally hear you. That's funny. When I read the daily lessons, I always have it hard to grasp them. When I listen to you, it somehow makes better sense and feels natural. I really appreciate your extra guidance last week about not trying to understand it with the mind, where I had an unexpected time lapse. And unfortunately, sorry for that. I was perfect. You're perfect. I feel at some point in my life I will start over again, still committed to finishing this time, no worries. Part of me feels playful and thinks when I'm retired, because I do have it hard to do the exercises. I forget. I don't remember the exact lesson when I think about it during the day, or when I'm too late in bed at night, I choose to sleep over ACIM. But I was wondering how to deal with the course itself. So the first part of the book and the part for teachers. Now I feel a bit overwhelmed to go into these, but do you have any suggestions? Okay. I'm so glad that you leaned in this way, because it's so real, it's so authentic, and I think every single woman listening, either here live or on the replay, can relate to exactly what it is you're saying. This, first of all, this tendency to be like, I'm going to do it later when I have more time, when I'm retired, whatever it is, right? When I can do it perfectly. I really encourage you, invite you, congratulate you, and support you for not letting that stop you from moving through it now to the best of your ability with Spirit's assistance. I see you so often on the lives, so often. And I love that the lives are supporting you in a more relaxed receiving of the lesson instead of an intellectual understanding of it. A couple of things before we get into the final question, a couple of things that may support you. Take your time feeling the lesson, at least in the morning, on your own, and it sounds like you are doing that. If it supports you to write it down somewhere where you can look at it more often, but again, you'll be guided to do that when and if it's time for you to do that. One of the things that I really love to do is once the lesson is in my awareness, I do repeat it throughout the day. I mean, again, it feels yummy to me. It feels like a return home. It feels like a rest to me. It feels like a break for me. It feels like the most important, valuable thing I can do. If at the end of the night you're getting into bed and you're saying, I'm choosing sleep over ACIM, even having the lesson for the day right by your bed where you can fall asleep with it on your mind could be really on your consciousness. I should say it more that way, because we're not talking about the intellectual mind. We're talking about the real mind. Yeah. So that might be supportive. And the reason that I'm saying that is because when we're in our sleep state, when we're in that unconscious, when we've let go of that squeezing, that holding, that need to understand, we allow more space for Spirit to really move things through us. This is why we end inside of the Femme Flow list with the Indie Femme type, because it really does open our capacity to receive. So it may serve you to have the lesson by your bed at night, that you just read the lesson. Maybe you don't even do the evening practice period if it feels like too much or you're exhausted. Just have in your consciousness what the lesson is before you go to bed could be helpful. Now, this part about how do I deal with the course itself, the part for teachers, all of this. There's no right or wrong way to do this, okay? If you feel overwhelmed by any parts of the course at all, the teacher, the text in the beginning, I wouldn't do it. I would say don't do it. I would say wait until you feel the call. if you feel the call right now to move through the daily lessons with us because it's speaking to you, and even if it's challenging at time, even if there is resistance at time, but that feels good, spacious in the bigger context, and the other parts feel too much, too overwhelming, I would say leave them. I would say just leave them. You'll know when you're called. You will feel, in my experience, you will feel a hunger for more. You will feel like I want more, right? I've already done my practice periods today. I want more, I want more, I want more. You will feel it inside of yourself. And to me, then that's the most beautiful time to go through the initial text that's in the beginning because it deepens it. I'm actually going to share some of it with you all today. You would deepen that, if you feel called to. The teacher manual at the end is really Q&A. So if you start to find some answers, some questions coming up for you as you deepen, you're naturally going to be led to look into the teacher portion. But that's my really transparent answer, is if it's not feeling good and you're not called, don't do it. Just don't do it until you are, if you are ever. That's what I would say, honestly, from my heart. All right, let's see if I can scroll up. I think the other questions were actually doing this, or excuse me, we're actually in the things, I can't talk when I'm trying to scroll. Okay, so that didn't work. Let me see. Okay, Elaine. Tara, could you talk about your experience of ACIM and what has changed for you since you have completed it, unless there's some reason why it's better for us not to know anything about your experience in case it colors our own expectations? I like this question. Let me see this for a minute. Talk about your experience of ACIM and what has changed for you since you completed it. Unless there's some reason why it's better for us not to know anything about your experience in case it colors. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's so much that contributes to our growth and evolution. And like all of us, I believe we are all consistently doing many, many, many things, whether it's ACIM or things in Elegant Femme, or things everywhere. So it's a bit challenging for me to isolate specifically. I would say, though, that I felt a specific readiness inside to really allow a consistent immersion of this conversation. And so for me, ACIM was a tool that supported the immersion that I was looking for, the daily immersion I was looking for, above and beyond, what I have already created. I don't currently work with any coaches, but I haven't found through other than going to University of Santa Monica, which I graduated with my spiritual psychology degree back in 2000 and I did my first year in 2010, I think. And then we moved to France and I flew back from France and did my second year later on. Gorgeous spiritual context there, which I love. For me, it's really supported like a mentorship. That's what I've felt. I have felt like a consistent craving and accountability that I was really ready for and longing for. In addition to that, and because of the consistency of the daily practice, I feel that what has saturated my daily experience is the awareness of the lessons, and that changes like everything. It's kind of hard for me to think about a before and after the course. It's been more like a deepening, a continued devotion, and what I love about the course is it feels like a companion. something that I can pick up and lean in. I have never read the Bible, ever. I was, again, brought up in a Catholic church, and I did read the Bible. I would read the gospel, I can't even think right now before the gospel what that is called anymore. I was a lector in the church, so I would read parts of the Bible, but I never read through the Bible start to finish. It wasn't something that resonated with me. And I feel such a difference in the course in that it really does feel like a daily companion. And that feels comforting to me. So I think I answered your question in a very roundabout way, and I'm going to trust that it's perfect. I'm going to trust that that serves. And I love the question. And I would think that I love what you put here at the end, in that, is it better for us not to know in case it colors our own expectations? I think that's a beautiful awareness, because every single one that moves through the course, that moves through anything to an extent, is going to have a different experience. The opportunity, the expectation, if we feel good with that word, is a continued awakening into the truth of who you are. That's the expectation. If we like that word, if we feel that word without pressure, all of us. All right, love, love, love. Okay, let's see. Here we go. All right, now we're caught up. Let's see. Let me see, Daphne. Ooh, 33 comments. Hold on, let me back up. Oh, no. Why isn't it showing me them? Dawn, hi. Zaika, hi. Why isn't it showing me the questions? Oh, I see Elaine, but I see there are a bunch more comments. Let's see if I can get to them. Oh, this is why I like the Q&A thread, because when we're doing live, it skips. Nope, it's not going to let me. Daphne, I think you're still here. If you could please copy and paste your question. If you can access it, then I can see it. I can't remember what it was now. I would love to address it. And let me start with these. Elaine. Tara, would you please explain what a miracle actually is as defined by A Course in Miracles? Is it just a change in perspective? Okay, so Daphne, if you possibly can, retype your question or copy and paste it. And if there's anybody else's questions that I missed, if you can put them up there again, because it's not loading anymore for me. I maybe should have started with the ones in the chat, but I didn't, because I felt like the priority was whoever dropped in there first. All right, Elaine, explain what a miracle is. Okay, so in the very beginning of A Course in Miracles, Chapter 1 inside of the text says the meaning of miracles. And I read this a little bit on day 1, and I love it so much. So I'm sure you've gone through this, Elaine, but I want to revisit it a little bit, because it has 60, I think it's 60 something. No, maybe not. 50 points of what a miracle actually is. Some of them that I have highlighted and some that I've shared that really resonate with me. And actually, you know what? I'm going to pause for a minute, because what is so important for every single one of us when we ask a question, we're looking for a definition, we're looking for like anything. What does holiness mean? What does a miracle mean? Why did you color your hair? Whatever the question is, doesn't matter what the question is. What's really powerful for us is to actually stop and ask ourselves, what is my intention? What is my intention in this? So just sit with it, all of you, right? And Elaine, for you as well, inside of this question, what is the intention? What's beautiful about asking what the intention is we get to identify immediately. Am I trying to go into my head to understand something? To think I have to understand it intellectually to make sense before I can receive it? I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm saying that this is what supports a clarifying of intention. If I feel like I really want to immerse myself in the frequency of this, I really want to feel this, I want to come into union with the experience of a miracle, and I'm intending to receive something that's going to support the essence and frequency of this to drop in more in my body. Okay, that's different. We're starting to feel a different connection. So I would first say, what is the intention? Just clarify it for yourself inside. Okay, really important. All right, a couple of things that I want to highlight that the Course speaks about specifically with miracles is all miracles mean life. And God is the giver of life. God's voice will direct you very specifically. You will be told all you need to know. Miracles occur naturally as an expression of love. The real miracle is the love that inspires them. In this sense, everything that comes from love is a miracle. And I'm going to read a few more because perhaps it will help, like with like something inside. But really, for me, the simplest definition of a miracle is when we're moving out of fear and into love. In any context, a smile when you're walking by somebody in the grocery store, and it doesn't mean you have to, like the fear. Actually, let me clarify this. Sometimes we feel fear as the way we would explain it in the human condition, like I'm really scared, my heart is racing. What I'm saying what would maybe be more accurate, is to move from separation, the illusion of separation, into love. So somebody bumps you in the grocery store, and instead of getting angry, you just smile and you say, no problem. You're moving into oneness, the remembering of oneness versus separation in any context. Any context. That is a miracle. That's a miracle. So let me read a couple more. Miracles are thoughts. Thoughts can represent the lower or bodily level of experience or the higher or spiritual level of experience. One makes the physical and the other creates the spiritual. Miracles are teaching devices for demonstrating it is as blessed to give as it is to receive. Miracles transcend the body. They are sudden shifts into invisibility away from the bodily level, and that is why they heal. You are a miracle, capable of creating in the likeness of your Creator. A miracle is a universal blessing from God through me to all my brothers and sisters. It is the privilege of the forgiven to forgive. Miracles praise God through you. Miracles are a way of earning release from fear. Miracles are expressions of love, but they may not always have observable effects. I think that's good. I think we can wrap it up with that beautiful one in the end. Miracles are expressions of love. Period. How's that feel, Elaine? How's that feel? How's that feel? Oh, I'm sorry, Daphne, you can't see it anymore either. The Course talks a lot about seeing a true vision. How can we practice seeing it more clearly when our vision is so clouded by our own confused thinking and seeing? Was that your question? I thought it was different. That's beautiful. So when the Course is talking about true vision, the Course is talking about seeing through the eyes of God, talking about seeing. It's not talking specifically about your own personal vision, the way we would a femme vision, which I love so much. And there are some beautiful connection points with that. So how can we practice seeing it more clearly when our vision is so clouded by our own confused thinking and seeing? Is exactly what the entire Course is about. One of the ways that I personally, the lessons, right? Every daily lesson is a moment to remove ourselves from the physical world where we see through the body's eyes and go internally and feel the connection, the oneness of us being with and in the mind of God. seeing through the lens of love, always, to the best of our ability with Spirit's assistance in our human form, is a way to see the vision. So that's what the Course is speaking about when it talks about the vision. It's talking about really seeing through the eyes of God, knowing that there really is no fear, that there is no separation. So 1, the daily lessons. 2, meditation. For me, I was sharing this inside my mastermind not long ago, maybe a month ago. I drop throughout the day into meditation constantly. If I'm feeling this friction inside of my physical world and I'm noticing myself going into any faux types, if I'm noticing myself really in my ego, if I'm feeling any kind of fear inside, any kind of over attachment to what I think things should be, or I feel a trigger inside of how somebody's reacting, or I will close my eyes and I will drop into meditation immediately, and I will ask again and again and again, God, help me see this differently. Help me see this differently. Help me see this differently. Long enough where I feel the energy shift inside my body. It doesn't mean I need to actually see it differently. Okay, this is important. Meaning my bodily eyes and even my intellect doesn't need to receive in that moment, oh, I know why all of this is happening. Sometimes there'll be an insight as to greater transcendence in the moment, and I might receive some clarity as to why something's occurring, but more often than not, it is not that. It's a shift in how I'm feeling. That's the vision. Let me know if this resonates. Let me know how that feels. Joyce, I believe a miracle is what you make it. It is such an individual energy. The blue jay that is foraging in my yard right now feels like a miracle. That's beautiful. Yeah, an expression of love, right? It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Daphne, Elisa said, Daphne, there's so much about living into the true vision, not the one we think we are here, think we are. How do we begin to really live into it when our vision is... You found... Oh, God, you found her question. Got it. Okay, sorry. Oh, I love it. Okay, Daphne, that resonates. Yes? Did I miss anybody else's questions? Or are there any questions, celebrations, anything else that you want to bring forward inside of this space? Winter, welcome. And how is this feeling when you... Because it's a really important opportunity for us as women to remember how sacred it is for us to feel. I feel, and I think that so many of us as women have pulled away from our feelings because as little girls we were told we were too emotional, we shouldn't be upset, stop crying, get on with it, make it happen, right? Moved into this idea that that our feelings were weak. And that stepping away from our feelings and into our intellect and into our logical mind was safer. It was more valuable. It was the better thing to do. It was where success lies. It's how you make money. It's how you make something of yourself. It's how you get results. And over time, not only have we judged what it is we feel, we've, in my opinion, really misunderstood the value of truth when we feel what we feel. We've been afraid to feel. We've been scared to feel. We've been afraid that if we allow ourselves to feel, we'll never be able to pull ourselves out. So we create this distance between us and our feelings. I'll just speak for myself. When I am in alignment, and ultimately we're all in alignment. So it's when I'm aware that I'm in alignment, when I am aware of my oneness with God, when I am aware of my co-creative power, I feel it. No one has to tell me. It's not like my hair turns blue. It's not like I grow wings. No one has to tell me. No one else sees it. I know because I feel it. I feel it. There's a resonance in my body that opens me up to the extraordinary truth of remembering. So, with that, I have a lot more than I can say right now. So let's start with that. How's that feel? How's that feel? Okay, I think I answered that. I hear you. Oh, you're all talking to each other. I miss me on the live calls. I love my sleep. Amen. I totally hear you. The replays are perfect though. Okay. Does that resonate with you? Because one of the gorgeous opportunities as you move through the course is to really feel what you require to feel, and to allow yourself to reconnect with the truth of what it means to feel good. Because if you have been afraid in your life that the other shoe is going to drop, if you have been afraid to let things feel good because you're preparing for that next thing, if you are afraid to feel the intensity of life because you feel, or you're afraid you can't handle the feelings, you are distancing yourself from your creative power, and you are distancing yourself from your vision. I'm going to use two definitions of vision for a very specific reason. The vision of what Daphne brought forward here, right? I think that was your intention, Daphne, and please let me know in the way that I answered the question, were you referring to the vision the course is referring to, or were you referring to your own expression of remembering? Okay? Ultimately, they're the same, but I want to share it in two ways. In the vision that the course is talking about, to see through the eyes of love, to see through the eyes of perfection, to see through the eyes of God, to see through the eyes of remembering, to see through the eyes of love. And then the context of what we talk about a lot inside of Elegant Femme, which is a femme vision, right? Living into your most beautiful soul-led life. What is the vision of that for you? And how are you uniquely called inside of your soul to experience, express, and live into that vision? And because the majority of women are so afraid to feel, they've distanced themselves from their feeling. They ask other people's opinions. They're afraid to feel the intensity. They're afraid that they can't handle it. They're afraid that feelings are weak. It feels so much safer to just put on the protective armor, to operate inside the masculine, to ask what the ROI is, to look at the equation, to check things off on the logical list with the illusion that that's going to somehow protect. It stops the expansion of your vision in all ways, both definitions that I just gave, and it closes your sense of receiving. Closes your sense of receiving, and you being able to receive what it is that God's will, God's vision, God's opportunity to move through you, to live through you, to express through you is truly available. So this is, to me, one of the biggest opportunities that we have as women, to allow ourselves to feel safe in our feelings. And to really feel the intensity of life. Because if you can feel it, you can experience it. And you might be like, well, I don't want to experience it. I've had really painful, intense things happen. I don't want to experience them. But you have, and you can. And the other option is to block yourself off from living fully. To block yourself off from feeling fully. To limit your vision, your expression, your experience, and your expansion inside of this world in the way that God has intended and is moving through you. The Course states very specifically later on that everyone, we talked today about purpose, right? The real purpose. I am the light of the world. That is my only function. That's why I'm here. That's why I came. That is the ultimate purpose. And yet, the way with which each of us are uniquely called to live into that purpose is different. And every one of you are teachers. Every one of you are students. Every one of you are teachers. Every one of us is a student. Every one of us is a teacher. Once we invoke the devotional of I am here, which every single one of you has, or you wouldn't be here in Elegant Femme, that I am here to shine my light. I am here to experience, express, and deeply desire to live into my beautiful soul-led life. Once you do that, you have invoked in a huge way the teacher inside of you. In a huge way. And every teacher, every student, because we're both, as I said, has a unique curriculum with which to remember that fullness, that wholeness. Is this resonating? Okay, let me see the comments. They're moving the vision of the course. Okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, is that resonating? Does that make sense? Do you feel that? Okay, I want to share something with you before we go to bring this all together, because guess what? I had an idea. Joyce knows. Had an idea. I told Dave, I have an idea. And I thought, with this conversation, because for me, and I don't know for you if it's come up, but for me, not only did this come up and comes up inside the course, I feel, for a lot of women, but this has come up for me, what I'm going to be sharing with you here in a minute. This has come up for me my entire life. I want to tell you what it is, and I want to tell you my idea. Carly, you're here. Okay. Have you ever felt confused with what is God's will? What is my will? How do I integrate these things? How, if the purpose is, okay, this whole thing, right, we talked about today. If my purpose is that I'm the light of the world, okay, got it. I'm the light of the world. That's my only function. That's why I came. Okay. What do I do? What do I do with that? And what does that mean? Does that mean I'm not supposed to have any dreams or desires? And if I do have dreams or desires, are they bad? And how do I know if my dreams and my desires are actually in alignment with my highest good? And that it's not my ego. Has anyone ever felt this? I cannot tell you how often I have asked this question my entire life. So I came up with an idea. I'm just going to give you little hints. I came up with an idea based on that deep yearning ache that I've experienced in my own life, and the way with which I have I'm going to say this in the most powerful way I can. I feel I have very, very beautifully integrated that into my life. The importance, the value of dreams and desires, and living into them in a way that's congruent with the calling of our souls, with the expansion of our light. I feel it's part of my curriculum. And I do feel that thus far, up until this point in my life, I've really created that in a very beautiful way. And I'm called to have a special conversation. I don't want to say too much. A special conversation about that. About that. Okay? So, we're going to do something fun. Are you ready for something fun? Kathleen, I missed your... Oh, wait, maybe the comments are coming up here. Kathleen, where'd you go? I know, because I get a feeling. Yes, I got a feeling. Okay, Kathleen, I thought you said something else. Did you ask a question? Oh, here we go. Kathleen, I have been living into it more and more. Yes, I'm letting myself feel into the thrill of going for it and expressing myself and not letting the fear of being misunderstood hold me back, because this is huge. And we know the difference, all of us, don't we? Between dipping our toe in the water, waiting for feedback, waiting to see what the rest of the world thinks of our dreams, thinks of our desires, thinks of how we desire to impact, what it is we want to say, what it is we want to share, how it is we're called to express the truth of who we are. We dip our toe in and it's like, right? Do they like it? Do they still like me? Do they still understand me? Do they get me? And when we move through life this way, right, we're testing the waters, right? We're not trusting ourselves fully. We talked a minute ago about the feelings, the precious opportunity to feel what you require, desire, long to feel with intensity. That happens because you trust yourself. And when we bring that then into the outside world, we, if we're coaches and we do a reel on Instagram, or we open a program, or we you're in a relationship and you tell your significant other your biggest dreams, like whenever you, okay, I trust myself, I'm going to trust myself, I'm going to trust myself to feel what I desire to feel, and I'm allowing myself to experience and express it externally. The biggest thing we need to let go of is the fear of being misunderstood, because that difference between dipping the toe in and testing the waters versus going all in is the difference between this, in my body, the way that I feel it, between this mediocre kind of protection feeling, like I'm still protected, I'm still safe, I didn't go all in, versus like, holy shit, I left nothing on the table. So we get to choose what living fully and living all in means to us. But I so get you, Kathleen, I so get it. Resonating, shining my light, love this, so beautiful, yay, yay, yay. Okay, there you all are. Now I see you, now I see you. Yep, it's all about the reels, because I can't control how other people will react or whatever. I've been loving your reels, Kathleen. I've been loving them. I've been absolutely loving them. You look sassy, you look chic, you look powerful, you look like you're totally enjoying yourself, and I love the way you're coming across. So it doesn't matter, actually, at all, what I think, or if I like them or not. I'm just telling you that I do, but that doesn't matter at all. The only thing that matters is, do you like them, and how do they make you feel? That's all that matters. Alexandra, you're here. Oh my gosh. Okay, I can relate to that. I'm ready. Okay, you ready? Okay, let's see. There's one more question, and then I want to share with you before we go, because I figured, since I have an idea, and since we're here together live, and since you're my Chic 365 girls, I was going to tell you first. I'm going to tell you first. All right? Let's see. Elaine, hi Tara, how long did it take for your relationship with the language in ACIM to change? Did it happen once you had gone through the entire course once? I know you said you picked it up and put it down several times before fully devoting yourself to it. You know, I feel like the opportunity to have our relationship change with the language in the course can happen instantaneously. As soon as we do not feel that we have to understand something intellectually or black and white, and that we're not trying to impress ourselves upon the course or impress the course, you know? This feeling that we have inside of, oh my gosh, I have to get this right. Oh my gosh, what does it mean by salvation? Oh my gosh, what does it mean by Jesus Christ? Oh my gosh, I don't agree with this. I don't believe that. Like, we get into this, like, misunderstanding and illusion, again, that we have to get it right, or that we have to completely agree with every single thing. And that's what I was actually bringing up, shaking the table. That's what I was actually bringing up today, in that there are still, in later lessons, sometimes when I read, and I'm like, yeah, got to be really clear inside of myself around how I'm interpreting this for me in a way that feels expansive and in a way that feels good. When I was able to release the idea that the course had an agenda for me, because that's how I used to feel in church. I felt like I wasn't good enough, and that I was trying to be molded, changed, pressured. That's how I interpreted it. As soon as I let go that the course had an agenda or was trying to change me or make me something, the language didn't bother me at all. So how long did it take? I mean, it was the time that I picked it up the time before I'm going with all of you. Like, it was just recently. In the last couple of years, like 2019, I think, is when I was like ready. I had picked it up and put it down since I was 16 before then, but 2019. So, and again, I don't really want to talk about a length of time, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All that matters is when we are inside of ourselves, ready to release the idea that something is trying to make us something, versus I'm here with my intention to receive what I desire from this, which is the remembering of the love of who I am. So let me know how that feels. All right. The sexiness of surrender. I love that. I love that. Ilona, what do you feel about the Course being a mental course and not addressing the body very much? In my world, we can heal a lot through the signals in the body sends, and I see that as very loving and beautiful. So, okay, this is a big conversation inside of the Course, actually. So how do I feel about it? How do I feel about it? How I feel about it personally, and my experience with this, it's actually a little bit tender. And I would also say, has perhaps shifted, and I think there's a really beautiful dance around this, because even in saying like the Course is very mental, I know what you mean about it by saying that, but it's not mental as in the construct of how we are typically taught mentality is. It's a much broader, expansive power of creation energy. And if we look through that lens, and the Course does say the body follows the mind. Again, the mind being the opportunity, in the mind being the most expansive place with which we reside with God, where everything is possible. And the more that I experience that for myself, the more I feel that to be true. That the body does follow the mind. That does not mean that I don't believe, because you did ask what do I feel about it? I do not believe that there aren't any healing opportunities with the body. There certainly are. And yet I do believe that the only way there are healing opportunities within the body is when the person believes that there are healing opportunities in the body. And that does start here. I have seen my body shift in ways that don't make sense when I stopped squeezing and focusing so much on the body itself. So I feel like there's a beautiful and in what you're saying. And I do believe that there is a lot of, that there are extraordinary, beautiful connections through the body. So yeah, I feel like I'm answering your question, but not answering your question, which is kind of what feels congruent, because the most important thing is what you believe. It really is. And the Course says time and time again that it will utilize whatever it is you believe to facilitate deeper awakenings and rememberings through you, with you, and the people in your life that you are meant to teach, that you are meant to support, that you are meant to, when I say meant to, I mean, I believe, and the Course does speak to this as well, that there are people that are waiting. I don't want to say it that way. Given our gifts, given our talents, given what it is we believe, given what it is we have been equipped with, and the way with which we are called to heal, there are people that are drawn to us because of those exact things. So, for example, my love of fashion, my love of beauty, right? The natural essence of the Frenchie. So many of you are here with me inside of the conversation around A Course in Miracles because you were attracted to like that part of my spiritual curriculum, which is around beauty. So if you are called to heal through the body, and that is something that feels so congruent and so real and so beautiful and so gorgeous to you, that is specifically part of your spiritual curriculum. And I would go with it all the way, all the way. I feel that there doesn't need to be an and or an or. And if that, the conversation, hold on, there's a plane. If the conversation around, only around the, the mental, let's call it that, the mental capacity to heal, if it's bringing up not a good feeling inside for you, let that part go and believe what it is you know to be true for you. Does that make sense? That makes sense? All right, let me know. I'm just picking up where I left off. Appreciate Tara's comment. One set, we are spiritual beings manifesting in our physical bodies. Yes, 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 right. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, right? The body is an important aspect of that inside of the way with which we utilize the body as a form of communication. And we will go into this because the Course does speak to this deeper inside of additional lessons that we don't want to judge the body. The body's not bad. The body's not wrong. The body is a tool with which we can more fully communicate the love. So let me know how that resonates. Again, everybody feel through their own lens, okay? I'm here because I've witnessed you grow and go all the way, and honestly not sure I'd be where I am if you didn't do this stuff. Oh, I love you so much. I know you would be because that's who you are. And I am honored. I'm honored to walk with you, Kathleen. It's an honor. It is a deep, deep honor. It's a deep honor. It really is. Okay, so I want to share with you, if I missed any questions, let me know, because I saw the chat moving a little bit. I want to tell you what my idea before we go, okay? And then I can stay on a little bit longer, but I know I said we were going to be here for an hour, so before you all go, I want to tell you. And this is going to be very, we're just going to trust, okay? Life-changing. Oh, Maria, you're here. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm so honored. I love you all. It's just it's like such a joy, do you know? I think about it. I think about starting Elegant Femme in Arizona, you know, and we had moved into this little 2-bedroom I had actually started it without knowing what I was really starting when I was coaching women after we lost Mason. And we were living in Anthem. But then when we decided to go all in, we downsized our house. We moved to this little 2-bedroom. I remember staying up late at night, working with a virtual assistant to try to set up instant teleseminar. Like, I'm so grateful for all of it. I literally cannot believe that I'm sitting in the south of France on a sailboat, and my kids are now 18 and 21. I'm so grateful for every single one of you, whether you're brand new to Elegant Femme right this second or have been on this journey with me for almost 20 years. Like, it's so much freaking fun to walk together. It's not always easy, I know, and it stretches us and all of those things, but I'm so grateful. So I did want to say what my idea was, and it's going to be very a little bit, okay? So with the conversation we were having earlier, in what I have asked, honestly, since I can remember in the beginning, which was to ask God what was my purpose, to then live into the purpose, and to integrate. And this is what Elegant Femme is known for. And honestly and transparently, it's because all I wanted for myself was to live this way. And when I say this way, I'm talking about living into the integration of the physical and the spiritual in a way that lit my soul on fire. That's what I always wanted. That's why we have programs called Live You Fully, right? This is what I always wanted. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to do something new, and I'm going to tell you a little bit. That's all I'm telling you. I'm just going to tell you the name. I'm going to tell you a crazy investment. And if you want to join us, just email us after this, because I don't have a page. I don't even know if I have a link. I asked Dave to do something for me, because this is how my ideas come. I'm going to do something really special. And it's called Le Mystère. Le Mystère means the mystery. So it's going to be a little bit of a mystery offer, but the mystère is kind of a big part of what we're going to be moving into. So that's all I'm going to say. Just feel into what I was sharing earlier about the integration of your purpose and God's will, and the expansion of you living into your dreams. That's all I'm going to say. And it's going to be called, part of it is going to be called Le Mystère, which means the mystery in French. This is going to be a minimum of a $444 program. Minimum. And I'm not going to be launching it till I think Friday. It's going to be super special, super short window, super fun. Like, that's what we're going to do. And because you're my girls, and because you're here and you're in Chic 365, we're going to start with $44. And I'm telling you early, because if you choose to come in, I'm going to be doing a very special drawing before I launch it to the public. And you're going to be getting, whoever's in the drawing is going to be getting something very, very, very special from me. So, total incentive, if you want to come in, first of all, for $44, which is if you've ever done anything with me, ever. I feel very confident in my own track record of I always over deliver. It's the funnest thing for me, not because of I feel like I have to over deliver, because it just happens naturally when I get engaged with an energy and a frequency. I go crazy because it's fun and I love it. So we're in a very special time in our lives right now. Dave and I are on the boat. We're getting the boat ready. Our washer and dryer got installed yesterday. Our dinghy arrives on Friday. We're going to be setting sail, weather permitting, on Sunday to Corsica, then Sardinia, then Tunisia, then to Puglia, and we're going to be spending the winter in Italy. I've got some big things coming, like some really, 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 really big things coming. And when I'm in this energy of creation, when I am feeling myself being sourced, and when I'm literally living into a physical world experience that I have been co-creating with God, with Dave, with myself forever, you can bet big things are going to happen. So if you would like to join Le Mystère for $44 before I tell anybody else and before the price goes up and be entered in the drawing, just email info@elegantfemme. Just email. You had me at Mystère. I love hearing that because I was sitting upstairs and I've been praying about this for a few days. I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be fun? I don't know. And as soon as Le Mystère came through, I was like, oh gosh, that's it. And so many of you will share with me, like, I don't even know what I signed up for. I liked the name, and so we're good. We're just signing up, which is the funnest thing to do. Trust ourselves, trust our feelings, trust the frequency. It's just fun. So just email info@elegantfemme, because it's going to be super fun. That's the vibe I'm in right now. Think fun, think adventure, think expansive, think massive integration. And that's all I'm going to say for right now. I'm going to do my best not to say anything else. So email info@elegantfemme. My light just went off. Email info@elegantfemme if you would like the link to join us for $44, and you will be entered in a special drawing as well. Very fun. Okay. Toot is included, my love. You're in. Joyce, you're in. Toot is included. I got you. Toot is all good. Sent email. I'll email. You had me at Mystère. That's great. Any other questions? Are there any questions that I missed? Anything else that's coming up for you? Any celebrations? Any shares? Anything else that you want to say before we go? I'm so grateful. You know, you're the best. No, you're the best. What'd you say, Carla? Don't? You don't love the energy? Love the energy? Don't? Why'd you say don't? Wait, already emailed. Do I have, you don't have to tell me. Oh, you don't have to tell me. I was like, what is happening? There went all my foes up all at once. I know you way better than that. I'm just kidding. Oh, it's so fun. So fun. Okay, if you've ever been like in any of these kind of capsule energies with me, like if you did La Belle Vie, if you did Ethereal, that's all. I'm not going to compare it to anything else. I'm not going to compare it because this feels like, I wouldn't do it if it didn't. I would retire like I said I was going to. How's that going? I feel like I am retired. To be totally like transparent, I feel like I'm totally retired. I do not have to do anything I don't want to do. And there aren't a lot of things I want to do. There really aren't. I love Chic 365. I've got my Choot girls. I have the Secret Mastermind. This is something I really, really want to do. For me, it's fun. There's some really interesting integration points that are coming through me as I'm living into this life-changing adventure at this time in my life. So I was actually reading, where is it? Oh, it's over there. I was actually reading a magazine yesterday in French, and they had a whole, this wasn't on the cover. What was on the cover was something about fall fashion, right? Mode, l'automne, quoi de neuf, something like that. But I'm reading through the magazine, and they talk about empty nest syndrome as an American thing. They're like talking about how the Americans have this phrase that they call empty nest when their kids go to college, and how there's a podcast on it and psychiatrists about it. And they're like, basically introducing it, not joking, to French culture, to French women, that there's actually a thing that we've named this thing, and that it's actually a huge moment and time in the life of a woman when she goes through that. I believe it's not just when your kids go to college. I believe that this, and you don't have to be a certain age to experience it, for sure. How I really feel it in my body is when we have these huge identity shifts. And like Kathleen was saying earlier, like any identity shift requires an all-in. And so I'm super turned on by now. I really want to tell you by now. I'm super turned on by this. I want to tell you more, but I'm gonna wait. Because really the fun part is, for me, and I think for you too, is to be able to join something without knowing anything. I know that I could have just said, certainly for Allison, and I'm sure for someone, I could have just said, I'm doing something. It's called Le Mystère, and it's $44. If you want in, let me know. I'm sure I could have just said that. I probably, that would have been good. But I'm so excited. I couldn't stop myself. It's not just an American thing. It's a season of life. 100%. It's 100% not just an American thing. In my recollection of the article, though, there was an introduction to that this is a thing. The Americans have coined this a thing, and that there's podcasts and psychiatrists and coaches and that help women through this thing. Exactly. It's moving forward when you don't know the outcome. It's called life. 100%. I'm in. I like this combo. Yay! Yay! Who else is in? Joyce, I feel emptiness with my business. They don't need me to function. It's awesome. Yeah. So I was going to say, it doesn't need to just mean that when the kids are gone. It's a shift in identity. That's really, really what it is. It's a shift in identity, a shift in where we have in the past found value, all of that. So while I'm moving through this huge transition in my life, there's some really, really big things that I want to share. Really big things I want to share and I want to play with. So that's what that's going to be like. Marlena, you're in. Yay. So fun. We're just getting started. All right. I love you. I'm excited. I'm glad we did this. I'm so glad we did this. Kate, I missed the info. Go back and watch the replay. Really, there's no info. There's no info. All that you need to know is I'm opening something. It's called a Mystère. It's going to be a minimum of $444, $444. Right now I'm opening it for only $44. I'm only opening it to all of you here. I'm not launching it to the public for a couple of days. And if you choose to join before Friday, we're doing a very special drawing only for those of you who choose to join. So I'm letting you all know first. That's all. That's all there is. And if you want the link, email info@elegantfemme. I know you got to put a little energy into it because I don't have the link ready to just give out to you at the moment. It should be ready very soon, but this is how I roll because this feels fun to me. And I love not over-preparing. It makes me so excited. All right. So that's that. You're so welcome. Are we good? Shall we turn? I think my light is better this way. Is it? Let's turn this way to say goodbye because the light is all better this way. All right, gorgeous ladies. I loved being with you. This was very, very fun. Any last minute shares? Of course, if you're watching the replay, you still qualify to join us, right? Just email info. I'll send out the replay. We'll be here. And I loved this. You are all welcome to join us inside of Chic 365 any day, Monday through Friday that you feel like it. If you just want to boost to the live energy. We do have a lot of fun. Even if you're not on that lesson and you hear that lesson, even if you haven't picked up the book and you just feel called to jump on the live, you're more than welcome. You're always, always welcome. So know that we're there Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Paris. I know. Until I go back to the States in November. But with that, I love you. This has been a blast. I'm so happy we did this. This feels like the right time. I know I'd been wanting to do it for a while. And le mystère. Let us know. info@elegantfemme if you want to be in with us. And above all else, trust yourself. you know what it feels like to trust yourself. You know what that feels like. So if you take anything from this live that we're doing together, take that. And if you feel like right now you don't know what it feels like to trust yourself, maybe it's been a while, or you've been used to listening to everyone else's opinions, or you've been used to asking everybody, or you're used to feeling that people around you have to be happy or have to be pleased or have to agree with you in order for you to feel okay or to feel safe, that I'm going to invite you to journal and ask, what does it feel like for me to trust myself? What does it feel like? And really let yourself begin to open that conversation of comfortability in trusting yourself fully. What is the offer for $44? So all I said, Daphne, I'm so glad you just mailed. All I said is that there's a program. Part of the program is going to be called Le Mystère, which means the mystery in French. And the program will be a minimum of a $444 program. And that's all I shared, really. I shared a little bit that if you are turned on, if you are called into a conversation around purpose and the integration of living into it in a very beautiful way, that was all I shared. Other than that, you can wait. You can totally wait. I will release more details. The price will be going up. You can totally wait. Hold on. There's another plane. There's something going on today because we haven't had all those planes. This right now, this offer for Le Mystère is for the woman who wants the opportunity to trust herself without having the answers. That's who this is really for. That's why I'm opening it up early. I'll be launching it to the public on Friday. If you do choose to join us, really with no information other than what I've shared, by Friday, you'll be entered in a special drawing, just for the group, just for those of you who choose to join. So we'll be doing that. All right. I love this. It sounds exciting. Yeah, that's what it's for. It's for the, you know what? This turns me on. This sounds exciting. I like this energy. Something's telling me yes. I don't need to know. I don't need to know. I don't need to understand with my intellectual mind. I don't need to make sense of it. I'm a yes because the energy is calling me. And it's $44, right? It's not a $44,000 yes without any information. But the price will go up. And yeah, that's what it is. Kate, I'm loving this reminder of being 100% ourselves. That's one of the reasons why I'm loving exploring and connecting with human design. Beautiful. Yeah, human design is very gorgeous. Yeah, sounds exciting. Yay, 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 yay. And we sent an email to accept. Yes, please send. Asmahan, please email because I don't have, because I come up with ideas like, and I did something very fun this time, which I'll tell you about more later. If you would like the link, please email. I know it's leaning in a little bit. Please email info@elegantfemme and we will give you the link because it's being prepared in the moment. And I also love the frequency of you leaning in and asking for it. I think that's very sexy and very powerful and very much part of the mystery when you raise your hand and you say yes that way. So email us info@elegantfemme. We will give you the link and that's it. That's all. That's all. It feels like a Frenchy Friday vibe, which is kind of what every day has been feeling since I've been on the boat, but it's Wednesday. So happy Frenchy Wednesday. Happy Frenchy every day. And enjoy the rest of your day. I hope to see you on Chic 365 at some point, or you can watch the replay and always let me know in the comments if you are with us inside the replay so I can love on you and say hi. And this was really fun. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you perhaps very soon. And I love you. And again, trust yourself, trust yourself, trust yourself, trust yourself. Mwah! Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thanks for being here, ladies.